Yes, please welcome back. This is where we stopped before the break. We have completed two steps in our handouts for our controlling case study. We finished step number 1 and step number 2. Now we'll move to step number 3. Hopefully you have the handouts and you are following. So step number 3, which we are looking at now, is to create a secondary cost elements. This is what we are now looking at it. We'll create a secondary cost elements. First, we created primary cost elements. Remember, just now we have created these 3 primary cost elements: cafeteria, assembly, and maintenance. Now, how do we create a secondary cost elements? Again, you can follow the menu path or a transaction code, which you can see in front of you. So now we are on KA06, which is a different transaction, creating a cost element. Before it was cost center was KS01, now it is KA06, which is a different transaction, different screen. So we are on creating a cost element screen. How do we create a cost element? Okay. Now what is this cost element? I'll just put which is this one. Okay. Plan assessment cafeteria cost. This is what we are doing it now. Just in our case, it will be 999, then enter. And then it is 9. Now this one will be assigned to cost element category, which we'll see. Now this one, to which it will be assigned, right? So it will be assigned to, in terms of this description, I'm just putting it in case I want to be consistent. That this is our assessment. Remember, what is this cost element? Is it related to internal settlement, or is it an overhead rate? Especially if you are a managerial accounting student, you should know these terminologies. Okay, now this one is related to assessment, because we are going to assess, or you are going to plan, right, this cost. So that's why we selected 42. So make sure you have the entries like what you see on the screen, and then save it. It's done. So PLA 999 is done. So cost element is done. Just a minute, just updating something. So we have created a plan assessment for cafeteria. So just to show you where we are in the case. Yes, as you can see here on this one we have created a cost center 3 in step number 1 and 2. We created this one. Now this one is a plan assessment for cafeteria cost, the planning which we are doing, how we are going to assign this cost to other departments. So this is what we are going to do. PLA 999, that we have to assign this cost to other departments. So we have created this as an assessment, this one for cafeteria cost. So this is our assessment which we have done so far. So what we are going to do now, this one we have created it for cafeteria. Now we'll do the same thing for other two departments as well, right? For maintenance and for assembly department. So we'll move to our, okay, same, this is where we were. So PLA 999, that was for cafeteria. Now we'll do it for assembly as well. So we'll do the maintenance allocation cost elements, right? To for maintenance department. So we'll say instead of here is PL, sorry, see, this is for maintenance. Enter. Name is say MAI and one. This is our 999. So it is allocation. Is this one? Sorry. So first we planned the cafeteria cost, right? Then we are creating, now next step is how we are going to allocate these cost elements. This is for allocation. Remember, first was assessment. This one you are going to assign it, this cost. They are the one who will, their cost will be allocated. So allocation, they are used for this one. So what we will be doing on this one, on this element, this is the allocation, which cost? Remember this one, which we already created in the previous step. We are going to allocate our cost, which we created before. Maintenance department, which was created. So that's why I'm slow to explain everything. Let me share. Okay, so this one is for maintenance department. Remember, MA, right? This one is allocation. Remember, above was the assessment. This one, which we just created, is the allocation. Allocation of this cost, maintenance cost. It will be assigned to this secondary cost element, which is MAI allocation. So I'll move back to my screen. Then cost element category is this one, internal activity allocation, that internally this department will be receiving the cost of cafeteria. Remember, this is what we are going. Remember, there is a cost of cafeteria which will be assigned to this department. Remember, we created an assembly assessment for cafeteria cost, that who will receive this cost or who will bear this cost. So we said that it will be bear by or absorbed by cafeteria department plus maintenance department plus assembly department. So that's why we call it internal activity allocation number 43. And then you can save it and it's done. Cost element has been created. So this cost element has been created. Now we do the same thing, right, for assembly cost, right? Allocation line for assembly cost. Remember, make sure valid from is like this one, start of this year, enter. And now what is the name? In our case, it is So I'll share again my case scenario, all the steps, what we are doing. I'm just maintaining. So this one here, as you can see here, this allocation which we just created, it is for this cost center, for assembly cost center. This is the secondary cost element, remember. Okay, they are the one who will receive the assembly cost. Assembly cost center will receive it from cafeteria cost. So what we have just now created, right? So we have created basically secondary cost elements for all of them. This is what we have done. So we have created 3 secondary cost elements. This one, 1, 2, and 3. These are our secondary cost elements for cafeteria. This is for maintenance, and this one is for assembly. So now you have 3. And how it will be done? How it will be allocated based on number of employees, which is the statistical key which we have already created. So we'll move to our SAP screen. Oh, sorry, I should have saved it. Yes, I did not complete. So cost element category for this one was assessment. So this is internal, same thing. Then save it. It's done. So step number 3 is completed. Step number 4, if you have the handouts, is to create an activity type. How these costs, remember, will be allocated. Activity types, right? The number of employees, okay? For maintenance department, maybe number of hours, right? How they will receive the costs, okay? What are the different activity types, right? And what are the activities performed by the cost center? Okay, so I'll move to step number 4, and first I will explain this concept as well. Yes, now activity types, which is step number 4, right? We are going to create an activity type to allocate the maintenance cost and assembly cost. How are we going to allocate the maintenance cost and assembly cost? As maintenance cost based on the maintenance hours, the maintenance services, you can say, provided by the maintenance department, and same thing for assembly department as well. So first we will create for maintenance hours, right? That the maintenance cost will be assigned based on the activity, which activity they perform. They're providing a maintenance. Now, how do you measure their maintenance activities is based on the number of hours they spend on the maintenance. So this is how we are going to create an activity types now. Okay, so this is what we are on step number 4 now. How to do step number 4? You need to go to your SAP screen. This is the transaction KL01. Activity type is maintenance hours, but we call it M999. Valid from 1/1. Yes, correct. And enter. So what is the name of this activity type? It's a maintenance hours. What are the unit? Of course, it is hours. So you have to select it from here. Saat hours. And then this activity type is for all cost center categories. It applies to which cost center? What are the categories? So we'll say it applies to all the cost center categories, which is this one, first one. Let me select it. Is it not selected? Yes, now it will be selected. So activity type category is manual entry, manual allocation. And then you assignment which we just created. Allocation to whom? This is important step. Just remember this one which we just created. Okay, so this one we just created. So I'm just creating our reference. That's what we are doing. So this activity type M999 is for this cost element, right? MAI 999. So I'll show you. Now for maintenance, see it's starting to get complex. Now this one under this one, right? So it is this maintenance hours is the allocation base, right? For this activity. This is basically maintenance hour. This is what we just created, activity type. This was our activity type, which we just created. Activity type is this one, and it is basically belongs to this one, to this my. This is what we have done now. M99, this one, it belongs to this allocation, MAI 999. So I'll move back to my SAP screen and see where I was. So this is what I have done. Okay, so M allocation cost element is done. Okay, so now make sure your screen is similar to what you see now. And then it's done. You can save it if everything is done. So I'll say save. So activity type has been created. Now you can repeat the same thing for next one for assembly. Remember, assembly is activity type is assembly hours. Let's use this one, A, for assembly hours, enter, and then you can create it for assembly hours. Activity unit, of course, is hours, H. Then cost center categories is also similar, all this one here. Then category, you have to select from here manual entry, manual allocation, and cost element. Again, it is from this one, from ASM 999. So again, before I complete this step, again I'll share my screen for my work which I was doing. So for this one, so you can say that it is under this one. I'll just put it like this one. Yes, yes. Now you can get a clear idea of what we are doing. So we are here now, which is assembly hours A. This is our assembly hours, which is our secondary cost element. And we'll assign it, right? So sorry, this is our activity type. We assign our cost. Now we have created the activity type for assembly and for maintenance. So we have M999 for maintenance and A999 for assembly. Allocation of cost element. This one belongs to ASM. As you can see. make sure this one is static. You have to select this from here, this one, and then it's done. So I have created now activity type for assembly. I'll save. A999 is my activity type for assembly. It's done. So step number 4 has been done. Now step number 5 is to create a cost center group. How to create a group? Again, I'll share my screen to explain the scenario. So this is what we'll be doing. We'll be creating a group like this one, a cost center group. It will have all this group, or you can say one section, just like in academic environment. So we'll be creating this one so that when we assign the cost, we put it to all the group together. Remember, who is going to take the cafeteria cost? These 3 departments: cafeteria, maintenance, and assembly. So how to do it in SAP? This is what we are going to create. How to create a cost center group? Basically, I am on step number 5. So now you will create a cost center group that will take the whole cost of a cafeteria. Who are the receiving these costs? Remember, the slide which I shared before, and I'll share it again so that you remember and we become relevant to our discussion. Now what is this one? As you can see here in the first here, cafeteria cost will be assigned to the group here, all of them, 3. This is what we are going to create. We are going to create a now group of cafeteria, maintenance, assembly cost centers, right, where they take or they absorb this cost. What is the cost of cafeteria? This 150. This total cost of 150 will be assigned to these 3 departments. It will be based on the number of employees. This is very important, right? Cost of cafeteria will be assigned to 3 departments based on number of employees in each department. So first we have to create this group. What is the group? Cafeteria, maintenance, assembly, this group. So I'll move back to my SAP screen. Now how to create group, cost center group, right? Again, you need to follow the menu path in the handouts. It is mentioned there how you can create, how you can change a cost center group, what are the transactions, right? So I will just show you through the menu path. Which is accounting, controlling, cost center accounting, master data, cost center group, master data is selected. So we are in master data, then you have this cost center. Okay, so cost center accounting, master data, and cost center group. So cost center group is how to create this. I'm just showing you. Cost center, sorry, this is cost element. I should be on cost center. This one here, cost center group. Yes, here. Create, change, or display. Later on, for example, if you make a mistake, you want to change it, you can come. Display means you can only see, view, just to display the cost center. So now I'm on this transaction. You can run this transaction from here or by clicking. So we are in now create cost center group. How to create a cost center group. And this group should include cafeteria cost center, maintenance cost center, and assembly cost center. So you have to create a group just like a section or cost. In our case, it is group. This is my. So it is group 999. Enter. Okay, now you can see under this group, or you can say under this section, under this group, we don't have any cost element, but we know we can add a cost center here, which we already created. So the name of this one should be cafeteria cost receiver. Here, this one, I can give them a name, that they are the one who are going to receive cafeteria cost. Who? This group. What is this group? This group has 3: cafeteria, assembly, maintenance. So then we will add these cost centers. So you have to enter this one with the cost center, this one. Insert cost center, this. If you don't see it, you can look at it on the right side of your monitor screens to expand the screen. Maybe it is like this one. In some cases, your screen should appear like this. Maybe you don't see all numbers, right? Like what you see now on my screen. So you have to click on the right arrow, or you can expand your screen. Then you can easily see. As you can see here, I don't see cost center now because the window is not expanded, right? So if I expand my window, I can see it, or I can just click there and see the missing number. So now it is available. I expanded my screen. So cost center is available. So just click on cost center. So there are 2 cost center: insert cost center and display. Sorry, not this one. You have to select this one, insert cost center, because both are same. So you have to look at this one, insert cost center. So where I want to insert, so I will put my cursor here. Sorry, this is how it should be done. Okay, you put it here that under this one I want to create cost center. So insert. So this is very important. So you both will be displayed here. So you have to use this one, insert. One is for display, one is for insert. See, yes. So I want to insert the cost center which I created. What are the cost centers which I have created? If you remember, what are the cost centers we created? If you don't know, again, I'll show you. I'll share my screen, my Word file which I am using. As you can see here, what are this one? 3 cost centers. This one highlighted in the yellow one. Whatever you have in your case. If you have the data with you, you will understand what you are doing. So I'll move to my SAP screen. Then I'll say cafeteria. Then maintenance. If I press enter, if there is no mistake, it will show you that. Okay, this was I just gave as a name this one, so that's why it's showing me. These were the names. So whatever you have your names for your cost center groups, you can have it. So this is my cost center group. Okay. If you see any other error, you may say, okay, no valid record means there is a typing miss space. You misspell something. So that's why I'm saying you have to keep a record of your work on a separate Word file. If you see like this one, it means okay. If you see an error, for example, let's say if I put instead of 199, I'm just showing you 198 by mistake. I do. Sorry, just a minute. Here it's done. And I try to put enter. No valid master record. It's showing me like this one. So you have to correct this one. And here I don't have. I will delete it. Let me see. I have to delete this one in class. So we are going to delete this one. Let me. So we are going to delete this entry from here. Yeah, I did not have to create again. Let's see this one. I'm just repeating in case if you have entered, so it's just a practice in case you extra enter something, so you can follow the steps what I have done. So I'll create a cost centers, cafeteria, and for maintenance. Excuse me. Just a minute. Just hold. Actually, some disturbance from some students. So anyhow, let's come back to this one. So maintenance and assembly. Those are the three cost centers which we created. Enter. Yes, so it's done now. The group is created. As we said that how to correct it, I've just shown you, okay, how you can make a correction. So that's why it's important to record your data and then you can save it. So step number 5 is done. The change has been saved. So group 999 is created. Now next step is to put the number of employees, right? What are the number of employees which will be working in these departments, right? What are those departments? Remember, this is the planning, you are doing it, right? So how many employees? So first you have to plan the number of employees which are working in these departments, right? Now, what are these number of employees working in these departments? Let's say we expect that there will be 15 employees in, I'll show you first, assembly department, there are 15 employees. Okay, and in maintenance there are 5 employees, and cafeterias are 5 employees. I'll show you. Okay, so now we are going to have what are plan the number of employees, you know, the how many employees would be working there, right? Or the total vacancies, whatever you say. So what are the total employees working there? As you can see here, 15 in, I'm just highlighting first, 15 in assembly department. In maintenance, you will have 5 employees in maintenance department, and in cafeteria you have 5 employees. So this is what you have, right? So in assembly, which is the largest department, production, they have 15 employees. Maintenance, they have 5 employees, and cafeteria 5 employees. So how to do it? You have to follow this one in step number 6, right? How we are going to have, remember what is our statistical key figure, which we defined already before, is the number of employees. Now we are entering the employee. How many employees are there in our key figure, statistical key figure which we created before. So move to SAP screen.